I was working with a client recently, and my client had acquired another organization. The other organization was approximately equal in size, and after the acquisition, there were some challenges in bringing these two organizations together. And what we discovered by doing a deep dive into their situation was that they weren't having a challenge with their internal systems. They weren't having a challenge with their external systems and how they interface with their customers. They didn't have any hardware challenges or technical challenges with the equipment, with their computer systems that couldn't easily be overcome. The real challenge they had was in bringing the two cultures together, bringing the cultures of these two organizations together, because they were totally different. One was a culture by design. It was created based on a vision that a leader had, and this culture was actually designed through the values, and then it was modeled, taught, protected, and celebrated by the leader of that organization. The other culture, the other organization, well, it was more of a culture by default. It was really the culture that had just developed on its own over time, and it was sort of do what you want to do. I mean, a culture is ultimately what is accepted and what's repeated, and if anything's accepted, then anything's repeated, then you have a culture by default. My question for you today is, what is the culture of your organization? Is it a culture by design, or is it a culture by default? For this particular client, they knew that their culture by design must win out, and we helped them work towards that end, so that the culture by design is one that was absorbed and used by everyone in this new organization. You know, over time, they had to let some people go that didn't fit into the culture, and they had to bring in some new people that would fit into the culture. And what happened was they created this amazing organization. In your organization, is it a culture by design? Is it a culture by default? Is anything goes the way it is, or have you specifically set out a set of values that talk to how relationships inside your organization will be handled, how relationships external to the organization will be handled? What is accepted professionally in your organization, and what's your organization's commitment to the community that you're in? When you define your culture around these aspects, then what happens is you create a place that people are either attracted to or they aren't. And the goal is to create a place that people are attracted to and that stay, and the ones that aren't attracted to it, that's fine, because they're not going to fit into your culture. Your culture is truly your greatest asset. It's not the hardware, it's not the software, it's not your systems, and you might even go as far as saying it's not your people, only to the extent it's your culture as it is lived and as your people are participating in it. So your culture makes up your people as you define what your culture is going to be. If you create a great and amazing culture, then what happens is you attract great and amazing people. And that's one of the biggest challenges in business today, is attracting the right people and keeping the right people. You do that through your culture. If you're giving great customer service to your customers, well, it's because your culture has laid the foundation for that. If the people on your team are highly engaged and their discretionary effort is through the ceiling and working hard, and therefore productivity goes up and profitability goes up, well, again, that is flowing from your culture. An engaged workforce will deliver between 2 and 5% additional net to the bottom line through your culture. You get the idea. How much time are you spending on your sales systems, your marketing systems, customer service, internal computer systems? How much time are you spending on creating and maintaining that culture that will help you differentiate yourself from your clients? It's your culture that's your greatest asset, as it is comprised of and contains those important people that are part of your organization. It's your culture that will allow you, when you align your mission, your vision, and your values, to achieve those goals that you've set for yourself, and to either create or maintain an amazing organization. Hey, if you like this message, if you like the value, feel free to share it, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. We always like that as well. Have a great day.